It's August 14th, 2025 at 7 o'clock. Linda, will you please call the meeting to order and read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the August 4th, 2025 Sunshine Notice was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website. Councilman Yacarino.
Here.
Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilwoman Homan.
Here.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Here.
Councilman DeLucio.
Here.
Councilman O'Connell. Wozinski.
Here. Everybody please stand to salute the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I am going to review the agenda. We have a proclamation for National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. We have approval of minutes for July 17th, work and regular meeting. And we have a second reading on an ordinance regarding increased fees of our construction code. And then we have introduction of 3 ordinances. We have one ordinance that is to revise the code for zoning for fences. We spent a long time on this. I want to thank Councilwoman Lovasolo for her help, as well as Bruce Rossler. We have really needed a revamp, so we revamped the whole entire ordinance, our regular fences, as well as the addition of deer fencing. And Bruce helped with some of his recommendations of what deer fencing should be from the Department of Agriculture at Rutgers. So that is something that was a lot of work, and we're glad to have that on there. And we also made our regular fences a little bit higher and changed the setbacks a little bit, so that's hopefully going to deter some of the deer as well. We also have the second ordinance is to amend the code, salaries and wages for the officers' employees, because we have a new MOU that we'll be approving as well. And then our other ordinance is to supplement Chapter 123. We're adding filming. We're getting a lot of requests for filming. There is a new facility in Monmouth, Netflix facility. So they're filming all over New Jersey now. So New Jersey is becoming a hot town to film in. The state had some regulations, but we thought we'd be better served creating our own structure around it. So we are actually now have a film ordinance, so if people want to come in, we have our fees are all set, and we may welcome them or we may not welcome them, depending on how disruptive they are in the town. And of course, the police will have to be involved with that, because sometimes they are quite disruptive. Next, we have our consent agenda. These are matters that are routine, but I'd like to highlight some of them. We have a new DPW employee that I'm sure Andy's very happy to appoint. We actually have our lease agreement. We're going to be creating a pocket park in front of the downtown mural. So once that's up, we will be renting that space. And we are going to have actually a contest for Allendale residents to see how they can create a beautiful pocket park for our downtown. Let's see. We're changing one council meeting from September 25th to September 28th. We are appointing Amanda Richards to temporarily be our building monitor to kind of get a good feel of what's going on there. Our community center has been open not quite a year yet, so she will be a good, boots on the ground to let us know, some of the needs and some of the things that we might need to tweak. We're waiving some of the raffle fees for our fire department and our ambulance and our police department. And there's a new police dispatcher. There's a small change order approval in the grandstand. We have an Avalon Bay resolution that we are forced to sign, and we'll speak to that a little bit later. But when I say we're forced, we are forced to sign that. So we will be doing that today against our wishes. And then we have our MOU between the Borough of Allendale and the Allendale Police, and we'll speak to that a little bit later as well.
Mayor, can I just mention for clarity, the amended meeting date in September is the 18th?
Yes. What did I say? I'm sorry. Whatever I said, but it was something else, you're right.
I have the 18th right here.
I think he
Mine
said
is.
the 28th.
Yes.
I
he
said
did.
from the
Yeah.
25th to the 18th. Oh, sorry.
We can meet on a Sunday.
I can't read
No.
my own handwriting half the time anyway. All right, so now I'd like to open the meeting up to the public on agenda items only. Anybody from the public want to come on agenda items?
Mayor Mark Savastano, 22 Freeland Place. Can you just please clarify that one item you mentioned that you're signing against your
My
wishes?
wishes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't
well,
aware.
you know what, I'm going to talk about that in my mayor's report. Are you going to be here for the whole?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I have,
okay.
Liz and I have a little statement to say about that. You'll hear about it. Yeah, it
Thank
has
you
to.
for asking.
Thanks for asking. It has to do with fair share housing. Yeah,
And sewage. Unfair share.
and fair share. Anybody else from the audience have any comments on agenda items only? Okay, so next I will read the proclamation. Proclamation to in honor of National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas ovarian cancer continues to have one of the highest mortality rates of any cancer, and it is a leading cause of cancer death among women in the United States. And whereas each September especially, we remember the mothers, sisters, and daughters we have lost to ovarian cancer, and we extend our support to those living with the disease. Whereas each year, thousands of women are diagnosed with and go on to battle valiantly against the disease. Yet, ovarian cancer remains difficult to detect, and women are often not diagnosed until the disease has reached its advanced stage. Because early detection is the best defense against ovarian cancer, it's essential that women know the risk factors associated with the disease. And whereas during National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month and throughout the year, we commend the brave women fighting the disease and recognize their families and friends, compassion, and encouragement. And in memory of all the brave women who have lost their lives to ovarian cancer and in support of generations of women to come, let us recommit to reaching a safer, healthier future for our citizens. And whereas the Allendale Women's Club will be placing teal ribbons around trees throughout the borough of Allendale as part of Turn the Town Teal, a campaign to raise awareness of ovarian cancer. Now, therefore, I, Amy Wilzinski, on behalf of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Allendale, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in the Borough of Allendale, and we all thank the Allendale Women's Club for their efforts to raise awareness of this disease, and I call upon all citizens, government agencies, organizations, healthcare providers, and research institutions to raise ovarian cancer awareness and continue helping Americans live longer and healthier lives. And I urge women across the country to talk to their healthcare professionals and learn more about this disease. And you have a good friend, I know. That's right. That as well. All right. Next, we have approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve July 17th work and regular session?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman
Roll call.
Yakarino?
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo?
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio?
Yes.
All right, next we have our second reading, ordinance 25-13. This is to raise our uniform UCC construction code fees. Linda, will you read the title, please?
The following ordinance published herewith was first read by title only on July 17, 2025, and posted on the bulletin board of the lobby of the municipal building and borough website. Ordinance 25-13, an ordinance to amend certain portions of Article 1, State Uniform Construction Code, Chapter 100-3, Fees of the Code of the Borough of Allendale.
I'd like to open up to the public. Does anybody have anything to comment on ordinance 25-13? Not seeing anybody. I'd like to introduce ordinance 25-14. This is the ordinance.
Good motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to approve ordinance 25-13.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
There's Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to introduce ordinance 25-14. This is the ordinance regarding fences. Linda, please read.
Ordinance 25-14, an ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise the Code of the Borough of Allendale, zoning, Chapter 270-31, fences.
Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 25-14?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay. Ordinance 25-14 has been introduced upon first reading and will be published in the Wednesday, August 20th, 2025 edition of the Record and will be taken up for further consideration and final passage at the meeting of the Mayor and Council on Thursday, September 4, 2025 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
Excellent.
Councilman Yakarino?
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole?
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo?
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Ordinance 25-15, this is the, I'm sorry, yeah. Did I just do that? No. Ordinance 25, sorry, I'd like to introduce ordinance 25-15. This is the ordinance to adjust our salary, officers, employees to reflect the new MOU.
Ordinance 25-15, an ordinance to amend Chapter 53 of the Code of the Borough of Allendale, officers and employees, to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the Borough of Allendale for the year 2025.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman Yakarino?
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole?
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo?
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ordinance 25-15 has been introduced upon first reading and will be published in the Wednesday, August 20, 2025 edition of the Record and will be taken up for further consideration and final passage at the meeting of the Mayor and Council on Thursday, September 4, 2025 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
Excellent. Next, we have ordinance 25-16. This is the ordinance to amend Chapter 123, filming in the Borough of Allendale. Linda, please read.
Ordinance 25-16, an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 123, filming of the Code of the Borough of Allendale.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Holman?
Councilman Yakarino?
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole?
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo?
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio?
Yes.
Ordinance 25-16 has been introduced upon first reading and will be published in the Wednesday, August 20, 2025 edition of the Record and will be taken up for further consideration and final passage at the meeting of the Mayor and Council on Thursday, September 4, 2025 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter.
All right. Next, we have the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Grudgingly, yes.
Second.
Second, please.
I don't think I want a second.
Somebody's
You
going to
got
second.
it. I'll second it.
Forrest.
Second.
Okay.
All right.
Councilman Yakarino?
Abstain from the bill list, yes on the balance, please.
Okay. Councilman O'Toole?
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo?
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio?
Yes.
All right. Next, we have administration. We have our council reports. Councilman Yakarino, can I have your
Thank you,
report,
Mayor.
please?
Over the last couple weeks, we've been continuing to look at our field. We actually had a little meeting before tonight's meeting with the mayor, Andy, and myself. We're in the process of soliciting quotes and vendors to continue the rehabilitation of our fields, as we previously discussed with the Allendale Recreation Commission. We anticipate finalizing our quote finding within the next week or two, and we've already sent a meeting request to the Allendale Recreation Commission to lay out our plans, which
Super.
we already planned as part of capital for this year. So really excited for that. Crestwood is coming to a close, but we did receive
No, it's
a
not. We've got a couple more weeks.
couple more weeks, but we are going to enjoy those couple weeks. But as you may have seen last week, Darlington did have to close for a day, and we were able to stay open. And as such, Darlington did contact Andy and said, what's the secret? How were you able to stay
They
open?
did.
Thank you.
Yes. So
We're actually meeting with the county exec in 2 weeks. They want to know what we're doing with our lakes.
So we're definitely doing something right. So lots of positive things. We had 2 band nights. We had an open mic night, which we'll be doing again in the future. And then last week we had an acoustic musician. So lots of fun things.
And a couple coming up.
Couple coming up.
Yep.
Tim Geisen will
Yep.
be on the 30th. So always a
Great.
fan favorite. And maybe we'll do something in the fall. We'll talk about a movie night or something like that. So good things
Great.
happening. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilman O'Toole.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Safety Committee met on this past Monday, and although we had a fairly lengthy agenda, it was a pretty good meeting. Of note were discussions of a resident concern regarding safety on their street, discussion on deer control, Deer is one of those subjects that spans multiple committees. And there are things being done in other committees to mitigate the effects of the deer, such as the fencing that I'm sure people will speak about. But it comes to us because a lot of people ask me about culls, and we're not sure that that's the solution, especially due to the limited area in town where we can conduct one. So that conversation continues. Another item on our agenda was these devices called safety sticks, which we're going to give a whirl. They've received some press lately, being utilized by a growing number of municipalities. And basically, it's a camera that's mounted and placed in no parking areas, and takes a photograph after a predetermined amount of time. An officer reviews it, and a ticket is sent. There are no costs to the borough, but the company that provides them takes a small fee out of the citation.
So
We're
places
going to give
places
Allendale
like
residents a
crosswalks.
heads up where they
Crosswalks,
are.
yeah, crosswalks and no parking areas. And there is some grace, as it'll be reviewed by an officer. We're not out to get everybody, we just want to make downtown
Not
safer,
Allendale
especially
residents,
especially the crosswalks. And finally, as everyone saw on the agenda this evening, we've come to an accord with our PBA for a new contract. We feel this is an extremely fair contract and addresses some of the concerns that our officers have expressed, especially about attracting and retaining officers. We're very proud of this contract, which represents a lengthy and involved process. Thank you to the PBA for their willingness to meet us on a few items and have some candid conversations. Thank you to Ray for all of his help. Extra special thanks to Allison, who put in a ton of time and effort, not to mention phone calls, emails, and meetings, and she helped us create a contract which is fair to both sides. So we're very happy to have settled this. We say all the time how much we love, respect, and appreciate our officers, and we believe this contract shows that. So it's a big win for all of Allendale. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Homan.
Sure, so, thanks, you guys. I'm going to talk first about sewage, and as a committee, we really don't have monthly meetings. I feel like we have every other daily meetings, and really the committee member is led in many ways by our legal advisor, Ray Wiss. So thank you, Ray, for leading us. But as you'll see, if you look at the consent agenda, that per a superior judge's order, we are being required to authorize Mayor Wilzinski to sign a TWA permit for Allendale sewage, for Allendale Pipes, our sewage system, to accept sewage from a large development outside of Allendale with 275 units, without regard to our own future needs or our aging system. So we do believe that the judge misinterpreted the law in requiring us to sign this permit. And so because of this, the resolution 25-200 also authorizes us to file an appeal against this order. So should Allendale be forced just blatantly to accept this sewage, it really is a precedence that impacts all of New Jersey, because Allendale as a municipality has, over many previous administrations, really sought to ensure that we met what housing needs we could for needy individuals. We have special needs housing, we have senior housing, we have fair share housing. And so what this would mean is that while we try to plan for Allendale, which is within our own border, that now we're being told what's going to happen from, towns that border us, and we have no control over what they zone or what's put into place. So it's really something that I say is a change that should not be taken lightly. So we hope that we will have an opportunity to come to some better negotiation with this developer moving forward. But as of today, we will authorize Mayor Wilzinski to sign that TWA permit. Anybody has any questions, you can always contact myself and I'll share or the mayor, and share what I can. As far as water, I feel like this is a good thing that I can share, that I feel as a community, we did sell our water system to originally Suez, but Veolia. And the reality is that we have saved ourselves millions of dollars in upgrading an aging water system, in complying with things such as the lead and copper rule. You see all the digging that has been going on. While it is a nightmare for our officers and our residents with traffic, it would be truly incredibly difficult for us as a small municipality to have managed all of the digs to identify the type of piping going into every single home in Allendale.
And business.
And business, well, everywhere, every connection. And also, they have moved forward in a very quick fashion in putting in temporary PFAS treatment for Allendale. As all residents know, and you still are receiving letters, but the New Street, the West Crescent well is now at a non-detect level, which is wonderful with temporary treatment, and we will be moving forward benefiting from Veolia putting in permanent treatments. Certainly, we can understand if you're reading in the news how much is at stake from the situation in Patterson, where they have an aging and overtaxed system, and they have been on a boil water or a non-available water
For a week, 7 days. This is 7 days today.
So we're
7
hopeful
days.
maybe as a community that we might be able to, we're trying to.
Yeah, we're going to try to collect water from the
Really?
community,
Yeah.
bottled water.
But, you know, for us as a
Just
small
figuring it out.
municipality, should we have an incident like that, it would be incredibly dire. So I feel that we all should congratulate ourselves as a community, because it really is Allendale's support of this that made it move forward. So that's my report.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Thank you, Mayor. Land Use Committee met this morning, and I don't care what the Crestwood, the Facilities Committee says, I think land use is still the fun committee.
Water and sewer.
No. So I just want to thank once again the mayor and Tyler and Anthony Hackett and Mike Vreeland and Andy and Allison. And this morning we were joined by Mike Limatola, so it was a party at our meeting. And we discussed a lot of residential issues people have, but also other stuff pertaining to our code. For instance, a resident pointed out to us that for landscaping, we allow commercial landscapers to start at 7 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. However, residential, it's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we're like, well, that doesn't seem right. So everyone can start at 7 a.m. now. And the other part of that is allowing commercial landscapers to end at 8 p.m. So we're considering that too. I know. If you have any issues about that, come talk to me about it. The other thing is lead paint. We're going to update and tweak our code so that we are in compliance with the ordinance that New Jersey has mandated. Also, an issue came before us where someone wants to put in, what did you call it, a martini pool?
Yeah, it's called a cocktail pool.
Cocktail pool. There are these like miniature spas. Some of them are the cold
They're
plunge
like pools,
ones.
but they're like little, like Callahan's house.
Some of them are the cold plunge ones, which are only 4 feet by 4 feet, but the other ones that the person wants to put is 7 feet, I think, by
You ever heard
13.
of it? Yeah, they're like just mini
And they
pools.
kind of go, they're like tiny pools, but they can go in your deck. And so trying to figure out, we will talk to you about this, how far they should be from the home. And
Yeah.
yeah. So that's something that came up, a new little thing that.
And I think that's kind of important because that's what the land use committee is. Like, new things come up with just new buildings and things like that, which forces us to look at our code and then tweak it to make it work, better. So this is something that is kind of new. The other thing was the
The other
accessory
thing come up,
structures that we.
and sump pumps. Apparently you don't have anything in our code about sump pump drainage. You can't drain into the street, but you also shouldn't be draining into your neighbor's yard, and that issue has come up recently too. So we're
And you
taking a look at
cannot
that.
drain into the sewer system either.
Well,
and
that's
that
the
is
most
well,
important.
that-
That's
yeah.
the most important one because we pay.
And
for that.
people are doing it.
But the thing is,
and
they have to drain the water.
We'll be addressing that at some point too with that smoke testing
Yeah.
to make sure that people aren't draining into the sewer. So yeah, it was a good meeting. Baked goods again. Thank you to your wife for providing the soda bread. Also, I want to thank our green team as usual and Mark for always jumping on 07401, everyone's favorite Facebook page, and answering questions that people have about like e-recycling. We have to do probably a better job of letting everyone know that you can e-recycle in the borough now, because I think people don't really realize that. Also, I got an update from the library on some great upcoming events. For adults, the library is featuring a guided nature walk of the Celery Farm on August 24th at 2 p.m. Library trustee and Celery Farm deputy Marsh Warden Jim Wright will lead this walk. On September 7th, they're presenting a very special musical event called the Garden State Homegrown, a tribute to New Jersey musicians, that will be held at the Community Center at 2 p.m. And they're also launching a writing club on September 10th at 7 p.m. For the kids, they have a glass painting workshop scheduled on the 19th and a series of cooking classes for kids. On August 31st, they're holding their teddy bear picnic event at 2 p.m. And then, of course, they're working hard on the second annual Family Day fundraiser on September 13th, held at the Red Barn from 10 until 2. It will feature entertainment, games, food trucks, and activities for the whole family. So that's the Lee Memorial Library. And then also on the borough website, under your government, there's going to be a page dedicated to our nation's semi-quincentennial. So you'll be able to get a calendar of events that not only the state is doing, but our town will be doing for next year. So the hose event should go up on there. So that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you very much, Councilman Delavatio.
Boy, my report's gonna be sad compared to all these. So I was on vacation last week since our last meeting. There wasn't very much. Do want to welcome Drew Milligan to our DPW staff. We got a good bunch of guys and, you know, hiring new people, fresh blood. I think it's gonna just enhance things. I know the DPW has been busy working on some down trees. I guess you guys have noticed we've done some milling and paving throughout the town. That's being done. Maintaining Crestwood, keeping that up until Tyler shuts it down, because I know he's excited to do that.
I can't wait.
Working on the fields and other miscellaneous things. So, I mean, Andy, our superintendent, is here. I'll let him take the bulk. But that's pretty much everything I have. Thank you.
Very much. Staff reports, our CFO and Business Administrator, Allison.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. So there's obviously a ton of stuff going on, but luckily everybody touched on most of it. Just a few larger items. So the borough has officially received the final 2025 tax rate from the county. While the county rate reflected a 9% increase, we were happy to report that the overall tax rate for the borough is still decreasing in 2025. When we were preparing our municipal budget earlier this year, we took a conservative approach and overestimated all of the unknown rates. So as a result, the final tax rate actually came in slightly below our projection at 2.030, which is down from 2.109 in 2024.
By the way, you nailed that, so thank you for that, Allison.
I don't know how I did that, but I did. I did. We had projected 2.035. That's how close it was. The final tax bills are expected to be mailed out mid-September, so you could expect to receive them by the end of September. Second large item is effective tomorrow. The borough will be implementing several changes in the building department aimed at streamlining the permit and inspection process. These improvements are designed to increase the efficiency internally while also adding convenience for residents. Some of the main changes are going to include inspection scheduling. Moving forward, all inspections will be done either online or through email. We'll no longer accept in-person or phone requests. So we're going to have a portal on the website, fingers crossed, tomorrow. And we're also going to begin offering online payments, so residents will have the option to pay for their permits online using credit cards or electronic checks. And then lastly, as Councilman O'Toole stated, the borough has officially completed contract negotiations with the PBA following a series of thorough and productive meetings. We're proud of the outcome, which reflects our strong support for the police department and our commitment to investing in its continued success. This contract was treated as an overall adjustment to the beginning of 2025, and we believe this agreement not only benefits each member of the department individually, but also strengthens the department as a whole. I'd just like to thank all involved for their collaboration and dedication throughout the negotiation process.
Our clerk, Linda Servino.
Thank you, Mayor. It's just been a little slow at the clerk's office counter the last week or so, so I don't really have anything to report.
Okay. Our attorney, Ray West.
So I'll go over in exhaustive detail my last 2 weeks. PBA negotiations, and PBA negotiations. A lot of people, a lot of moving parts. It really did take a collective effort on both sides of the aisle to get this done at sometime this afternoon. I think
Yes.
the i's got dotted and the t's got crossed. But I do echo the comments that were made by everyone. The negotiations were very, very professional, despite the fact that it did take us some time to finally get the ink to dry, get something that everybody could sign. It did get done, and I think to the credit of everyone. And it's always nice to have a labor agreement in place for a 4-year period of time. Everybody knows what's expected, what's happening, and I think it makes the job easier, and it certainly makes Allison budgetary-wise, you know what the contract means going forward. So kudos to everyone on that. I do want to just echo some of the comments that were made on the Avalon resolution tonight. It did emanate from a court order, and I think what should be added here is it's happening at a very, very formative stage. As everyone knows, we are in the midst of the 4th round of lower and moderate income housing, and objectors, including the Fair Share Housing Council, have the ability through the end of this month to file objections to our housing plan and Saddle River's housing plan. Saddle River, as we know, does not have sewer infrastructure. They're dependent and historically have been dependent on Allendale. So we think that, in fact, we know we take great issue with the ruling that was issued, but the timing of it is also very, very suspect in terms of the potential obligation that we may need to address as Allendale, and also that our neighbors in Saddle River may come to us. And I think it's fair to say they already have, as part of their 4th round plan, come to Allendale and said, we need some help with some additional units. And I think we're portending that that may continue in the future, because these 4th round plans are good for a decade. And I think Allendale's position remains, we need to plan for our own first before we have an imposition from across the border, even though we have been a good neighbor historically to South River. And lastly, I just want to echo some of the comments made by Council President Homan in terms of the Patterson situation is a good example, and whether it happens on the sewer side or the water side, an aging system is very, very difficult in terms of the costs of a municipality to rehabilitate an aging system, but also what can happen to the residents in terms of whether it is a water problem or a sewer problem. And I think that the borough's historic decision to sell the system to then Suez not only resulted in a very unique situation for Allendale in terms of forgiveness of existing debt, but also in terms of cost avoidance, and cost avoidance in the millions. I mean, it could be tens of millions of dollars in terms of upgrading an antiquated water system, and obviously, water system, sewer system, hand in glove. That's all I have, Mayor.
Excellent, thank you very much.
I have one additional question. I was going to bring up, but Mark, are you going to, is this Isabella, you're going to touch about the pickup project? Okay, then I don't have to bring anything up, okay.
Chief Dillon.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just simply thank you to the Mayor, Council, Borough Administrator, CFO Alison Altano for their unwavering support of the department and our staff.
DPW Superintendent, Andy?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, all. Many things were already discussed, but I want to highlight on a few things. I want to thank Borough Administrator Alison Altano and Mayor Wazinski and the rest of the council for promoting Dion Milligan from a seasonal DPW employee to a full-time laborer at the DPW. The additional help is greatly appreciated by the entire DPW team. As a seasonal employee, Dion excelled at every task and assignment that he was assigned. He is a very detail-oriented individual, and his background in lawn maintenance is a major asset to the DPW team. Lastly, the PSC&G paving project has been completed. Colonial, Dogwood, Elm, part of East Allendale, and the intersection of a much-needed intersection of Berline Road has been paved, and that has all been completed and striped.
It's really good.
That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will give my report on behalf of myself and the council and our committee, which consisted of Allison, Ray, Matt, and Kevin and the rest of the guys. We just want to express our thanks and our gratitude to all you guys. These conversations require patience, they require understanding and a willingness to work together, and I think we all did that, and you guys did a really great job in taking part of that. It was really important for us to work in collaboration, and I do believe we achieved that. Beyond the agreement, I just want you all to know the deep respect that we have for our police department. I understand you have your own families, you have your police family, but I want you all to think of yourselves as part of the Allendale family, that we are on your side. I know it's not like that everywhere. I know it's not like that in a lot of towns, but in our town, I do believe it is different. And we want what's best for you, and I know that you want what's best for Allendale. So thank you so much for your dedication and your partnership and for keeping Allendale safe. I'm really happy to be able to sign this MOU today after lots of great discussions. So thank you very much. As far as fair share housing, we do believe that the judge did not have a good grasp on the fair share housing law and did not take into consideration our town's needs. Saddle River's infrastructure just cannot handle all of these hundreds and hundreds of units. They don't have a sewer system. They have only septic and well. When we were entering that date, it was for a case management conference, and the judge converted the meeting into a formal determination, so we felt like we were blindsided. So with that, I am forced to sign the TWA, which stands for Treatment Works Approval, which allows them, or potentially allows them, to use our sewer system. However, because of that, we are appealing. We're doing this because we feel that it's right for Allendale, as we always have. We also feel that we've been compliant to all of the rounds of fair share housing. We were never late. We actually, in fact, were one of 5 municipalities to get certified in the 3rd round. We have done everything that we were required to do, and I feel that the way that fair share housing has manifested is really not in the spirit of the original COA. And a lot of it is greed, and it's a lot of greed with developers, and a lot of the fair share housing and the developers, quite frankly, they're working together, and they don't even try to hide it. So with this 275 units, there's only 20% that is going to be going towards affordable housing. The rest of it is all going to be market rates. And we're going to be affected. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that whole unit is on Allendale. Our police are going to be going there. They're closer. Our police are closer than the Saddle River police. They're going to be using our sidewalks, our roads. They're going to be using our transit. So it's a concern. And quite frankly, they have other units, as we were saying. We've also allowed some of their other units to use our sewer line, and there's not going to be enough to meet our needs and our fair share housing needs. I've said this many times. I think what is going to kill New Jersey is this thing called the unmet need. So what happens is you have this, your realistic development potential, which is like a single-digit number, and then the rest is unmet need. And that unmet need is in the hundreds. So between last round and this round, our number is something like 650. It's not even attainable. So they basically want to take every last piece of land and you put in what's called an overlay zone on it, and that's supposed to be zoned for multi-family housing. So I'm telling you right now, a lot of administrations, a lot of mayors, they just want to get done with the 4th round, and most likely a lot of them might be out of office in 10 years. As Ray was saying, it's a 10-year cycle, and that's what's going to kill New Jersey. So watch who you're voting for, because the governor's race is really, really important this year. Very, very important. And watch what their what their determination is and what their views are on affordable housing, because it's a big problem for New Jersey. A couple other just quick things. The new deer fence ordinance, as Matt was saying, we constantly, is probably one of the biggest complaints we get is the deer. There is not an easy solution for this, but we are, once there is a solution, and hopefully a regional solution, we will be the first to jump on board. We are participating in a regional study. We ask about it. I ask about it at every single mayor's meeting. So really just for Allendale, our small town, to do a call, it would have to be in one of our borough-owned properties, which would be the Celery Farm, and it really would not affect the whole entire town. So until we have something regional-wise, and like this study, I'm hoping we'll gather data for that, and then we can go to the county, because the county has to be on board, and so far they have not been on board. I'd like to thank Allison for the not only the police negotiations, of course, but the government pilot, streamlining these processes for Allendale and our residents. Becoming more digital, 21st century is one of our pillars, our goals as a council. So this is going to just make things a lot easier for Allendale. Not only that, it's going to help us keep our records better for Allendale residents. And lastly, we have the ARC 5K is back. I want to just remind everybody that we have a generous donor that dollar for dollar is going to be matching up to $25,000. So we have the potential to have $50,000, and all of the proceeds are going to be towards Allendale-based organizations, not anything outside of Allendale. So if you haven't already signed up for the ARC 5K, please do it and consider being a sponsor. And it's also going to be in remembrance of a beautiful Allendale resident who's second generation Allendale. So, and she was a real big part of the ARC 5K. So please consider donating. And then lastly is the mural. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but it is actually up and it's looking great. So the next is the painter is going to come in and take all of the structures that are there now, the pieces, and paint it all together. And then we're going to have a design contest for the pocket park. So we're going to have that space in front of it. We're going to make it into a little pocket park for Allendale, but we're putting it out to Allendale residents, similar to what we did actually for our 9/11, and see what people come up with. So that's my report. Any unfinished or new business? All right, I'd like to open up the meeting to anyone, the public, on any comments. Anybody from the public wish to come up and speak? Oh, we have Kevin up there first. Beat ya. His hand went up first.
How was everybody tonight?
We are good.
All right, excellent. I just wanted to echo the sentiments of everybody up here. Mayor Wazinski, Borough Administrator Allison Altano, Councilman O'Toole, and Councilman Delvisio, the support of Chief Dillon. We all feel that, we have a very extremely fair agreement in place, and we are very appreciative of the honesty and the openness and the talks that we had over the course of the last several months. It's been a lot. It's been a lot going on and stuff like that. But we just wanted to thank you and let you know how much we do appreciate it. So, thank you.
Thanks for coming out. Anybody else from the public wish to speak? Mark?
Hi, Mayor. Mark Savastano, 22 Vreeland Place, Chairman of the Green Team, and I have with me Bella Zrebeck. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Bella, as Suzanne mentioned, is running a project called the Pick It Up Project.
Wait to hear about it.
Yes, I'll give Bella a chance to speak about it, but she represents what's exciting to me, that a lot of the NHRHS students are beginning to participate in our efforts for sustainability. And I'll let Bella talk about the project.
Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Bella Zrebeck.
State your address as well, please.
My address is 191 McIntyre Lane in Allendale. So I'm going to be a senior at Northern Highlands, and behind my house is a creek or a brook. And ever since I've grown up, I've always gone in the brook to play with my friends or my siblings. And I've noticed how filled with trash it sometimes is. And growing up, I didn't really understand the impact, but now that I'm in high school, I understand how bad it really can be for the environment, for animals, everything like that. So I volunteered with the Green Team and Mark before the styrofoam pickup, and I felt really inspired by their goals, so I wanted to start something similar, and I wanted to really feel like I was making a difference. So what the Pick It Up project does is we walk around as a little group. Whoever wants to come can come in a certain part of town, and we just pick up as much trash as we can find. And the last event I had was really small. It was basically just my siblings and my mom and I. But we picked up more than 10 pounds of trash at the celery farm, and it was heartwarming for me because it was something that I wanted to be helpful with. So the next event is August 18th, and I'm hoping more people come and we can make more of a difference. And it's at the Red Barn, Crestwood.
Excellent,
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do our best to push all the information out. I have to say, I love your marketing. It was really clever and
Thank
really,
you.
really good. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be a marketing major in college, but you may want to consider that. But yeah, we'll be happy to push that out on our Facebook and all of our social media.
Thank you.
So thanks for doing that. We really appreciate it.
Mayor, I had advertised that as well on 07401, as Suzanne mentioned, and we got a really great response from the community. And I also gave Bella's contact information, and people were contacting her directly. I know Steve Rycroft of the Green Team has volunteered, and several other members of the community will be there for sure.
Yeah, I'll be there if I can make it.
Great. And like I mentioned, I think that's super that we're getting the younger people involved. And,
I agree.
They're contributing. I did want to mention a few other things. Excuse me while I reference my notes. I had an idea that I wanted to present regarding perhaps starting a food composting with the residents in Allendale. And I'm not sure about the second collection that we use during the summer, if that's mostly because of the smell of the trash.
It is.
And if there would be a way to use the funds for that to subsidize a pilot program for residents to start using a company to pick up the trash and eventually eliminate the necessity for that second pickup as part of the contract. If that is a discussion that can be had, I think it may be worth looking into.
Sure, we can have the discussion. I believe we have at least 2 more years though on our garbage contract, so it couldn't happen for a couple of years.
Yeah, and it'd be something that we can look forward to with the knowledge that other towns that have done this have found that at least 50% of the weight of household trash, the regular pickups, is food compost, is items that can be composted. So that might be something that we could look into.
We just have to make sure people are clear on how to compost so it's not out there and attracts more deer. That would really defeat our purpose, wouldn't it?
Well, there
Bring
would
in the
be
bears.
two ways to do it, not in your backyard.
No, I am just saying when we do it, you don't have to explain it now, but I was just saying in general.
And also, I wanted to ask, Andy knows that I go down to the recycling center often and probably sees my feet sticking out of the dumpster while I'm pulling out styrofoam and other recyclables. So I've made friends with a lot of the DPW employees, and they tolerate my presence, but I wanted to have a collection container there. It doesn't have to be something big, and it's something that I would be sure to empty at least once a week, if not both on Wednesday and Saturday. And that would keep it out of the dumpster and also promote the idea that we are recycling the material, foam and plastic film.
Okay, so I would send an email to Andy, and if there's room and if he has a container, I don't,
Talk about it further offline.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything large.
Right.
But people are bringing the material there and they're throwing it into the dumpster. And if I may, I want to compliment the change for the fencing. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And also, I hope you do not agree to extend the time of listening to leaf blowers until 8 p.m. at night. That I think would be
I know, it's a
bad
tough
I know, it's a
conversation.
tough-
You know, we
I
were
know.
saying that landscapers, their leaf blowers are quite loud. However, when residents do it, it's quite long. It's a little bit.
Yes.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of feel strongly
So
about
it's
being able
kind
to
of a-
start earlier for residents.
That's, starting earlier, but listening to that until 8 o'clock at night, I think is not a good idea.
Also, Mark, while you're here, I want to thank our police and the chief again for getting out that information on the e-bikes. I thought that was very helpful. I know that was a concern of yours.
Yes, thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Anybody else from the public wish to come up and speak on any topics? Come on, anybody? Come on, Jamie. Come on.
Walter?
Two other high school students that I wanted to mention their
Sure.
name that are going to be helping Bella. Ava Lowry, who you know from her project with the bat houses, and her name escaped me, Krithi Vita,
Okay.
who happens to be away in India visiting her family, but she's been involved with our projects.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Not seeing anybody. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Oh,
All in favor?
all in favor. Yay.